I'm Maria Caceres. I'm the CEO of In Deep Irrigation, and our company started with a bright idea maybe about last summer. We were out working in the garden. The property where we live is will belong to my in-laws, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and we have a lot of old trees around the property. They're like 50 years old, and we see that they were deteriorating and wanted to kind of preserve them because, in memory of them. And in our orchard, where we have our apples and lemons and peach trees, we decided that if we watered them from the root, where the water where it's best for them to get nourishment, and also fertilize them there. We'll see how that goes. So Robert designed the Root Quencher, and we were able to test it and see how that would work. And everything started blooming, and 50-year-old trees were giving us great crops, lemons and oranges and apples, and we were like, whoa, okay, because in past years we would get maybe 2 or 3 fruit from each tree, and now we're getting multiple.
Right.
So we decided, this is a good thing. Why don't we try doing it all over the yard? And so we did. We installed them all over the property, and everything is just blooming and growing.
We started In Deep Irrigation in March of this year to bring the Root Quencher to consumers in California. It's something that we've worked on for the last year here at our home in bringing a viable alternative to watering scenarios. So looking at deep watering to the roots of plants and trees. So, this property represents the labor of love of my parents and their relationship with trees and plants, and now Maria and I are taking it on as the next generation, and the Root Quencher plays a big part in that. With the California drought being so severe for the last 20 years, the market is desperate for watering scenarios that will save water and enhance plants. There's so many, in our yard alone, so many plants and trees that we lost over the years from cutting back on watering for the sake of saving money and helping California. But we're here today to kind of officially launch this company in video for perpetuity, to bring this product to consumers, and it's actually going to end up being a whole series of products. It will be the Root Quencher, the Root Quencher Junior, which is the smaller version of the chamber for smaller plants. It'll also be the Root Quencher Blade for deep watering lawns, and the Root Quencher Pro for watering or for new plantings. We started here in this yard developing things. It's been a year since we started developing this, and we started with HDPE pipe, sticking it in the ground and trying to revitalize 50-year-old citrus trees, and then refine the offering to add a valve to it to control the flow of water. And then we refined it to go deeper, recognizing that each tree and plant, each of these trees and plants in this yard have a different requirement for watering volume as well as watering depth. Believe it or not, the little rose bush that we'll show you has 3-foot roots, and there's a big tree in front that has a crepe myrtle that has 1-foot roots. So depth requirements are completely different for every single plant and tree. That's why we created the Root Quencher as a telescoping device that will allow for adjustable depths of the device for watering and for fertilizing. So the inspiration was revitalizing the yard. Maria and I have been here together for a couple of years. I've been here, had been here with my dad for the last 11 years, and there's a lot of older landscaping here that we were trying to revitalize. So we had old citrus trees that were not producing a lot of fruit. So I was trying to figure out, I tried bubblers, I tried spray heads, I tried drip irrigation. I've had everything in this yard trying to get things kind of jump started and going again. I even had an arborist come out, and he looked at all of the citrus trees and said, yeah, they're at end of life. They're not going to be producing fruit for very much longer. They're going to need to be torn out. So we kind of rejected that idea and came up with the idea of deep watering after all those different scenarios didn't work. So it literally started out with HDPE pipe, so just like regular drain pipe that we cut, and then we tried to dig a hole. Then we advanced to getting an auger to drill the holes, and then we advanced to getting a bigger drill to drill the holes so that we could drill better holes. We even, the early stages of the Root Quencher had the HDPE pipe in the ground, and we had gravel packed around it to keep the dirt from filtering into the pipe. We found out later that that's not necessary. But as much as the deep watering is important, we found that and started testing fertilizing in that same chamber. So, kind of makes sense. If you put the fertilizer down where the roots are, so it gets to the roots quicker and more efficiently. Generally, fertilizing happens at surface level, whether it's granulars or liquids. They're expecting that you, and a citrus tree example is, you're applying the fertilizer here and the roots are down here. So the notion that somehow that fertilizer is going to filter down to reach the roots efficiently and quickly it's never really worked in my brain. So we started playing with different granular fertilizers and liquid fertilizers, and came up with AgriThrive as a great alternative to granulars, that you can actually take the concentrate and pour it in the chamber, and when you turn the unit on, it mixes appropriately and dispenses to the roots. That is the foundation of this business, is great partnerships. We want to have people that we work together that we love and respect, and that have the same beliefs about business that we do, that it's not just about making money, it's about putting out a great product, a made in the USA product that everybody can be proud of. So, it's been a very fulfilling process, because we've got to see, especially as spring came upon the yard, we got to see amazing results from the fruit trees. Just dozens and dozens of pieces of fruit. We transplanted a plum tree and got a crop from that plum tree from the Root Quencher Pro prototype. That and a lot of trees honestly perish in transplanting. So in this particular case, we know that the concept of deep root watering, is fantastic. Getting peaches, getting nectarines off a tree that we just planted, 3 months ago, along with lemons off of a lemon tree that, like I said, the arborist said was dead or dying. We revitalized a couple of orange trees that have dozens and dozens of fruit that's coming to term on those trees. Manufacturers, we are 100% committed to manufacturing this in the United States, and specifically in California. Our distribution partner is Lithographics in Hawthorne, California. They're going to be handling all of the assembly of the products, as well as the shipping. But we're looking for to save on freight, and again, make sure that our carbon footprint for the company is low. Trying to manufacture in California, big challenge, and we're still in the process of doing mold designs and getting this product ready to hit the market. The big deal that I should mention about the Root Quencher, it's specifically designed to work in mixed zones. So mixed zones means, well, first of all, zones are your plumbing in your backyard. In the case of this yard, we have 17 zones because we have quite a bit of property. But most people have 2, 3, 5, 6 zones, and you've got one that waters the front yard and one that waters the backyard and the side yard and such. But you've got bubblers and spray heads and lawn sprinklers, and the intention of our device is that it will integrate with those systems so you can balance the flow based on the total need of that zone. So that is very unique for those devices. Ours is intended, as you've seen in the yard and will see, that we've got a spot of grass, we've got a couple of orange trees, we've got grapevines, all requiring different volumes of water at different times. So, our choice early on was, do we rip out every single sprinkler system in the yard and put in a couple of deep root watering lines, and then we replumb and tear everything up and water the grass differently? And no, we knew the practical solution was to develop a device that could work in any scenario in the yard, whether it's a drip system or regular sprinkler line, 1/2 or 3/4 inch. This device works on all of those and integrates with them.